Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bronx on the scene, nose to the ground, reads every scratch, every step, every sound. Dust on the boot, mud on the cuffs, one wrong move and he calls you bluff. He found a lie in the turn of a face, found a fresh print in an empty place. Tail up high when the story won't blend, he don't bark loud, he just gets close. Damn, sniffing out facts, no room for slack. Truth in the crack, now we don't look back. BronxTails, 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 chasing truth through the rails. BronxTails, 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 corruption slips then fails, sniffing out facts, uncaging the truth. Corruption on a tight leash, and he's pulling it loose. Hey, hey. Idaho nights cold, over the floor, 4 names heavy in the whole town, so Bronx in the weeds where the silence stay, digging for proof in the tracks it made. He found the gap in the masked up tail, found the bent clue in the buried trail. Bone white truth in the folder stack, one clean set in the case swings back. Sniffing out facts, no room for slack. Truth in the crack, now we don't look back. BronxTails, 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 chasing truth through the rails. BronxTails, 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 corruption slips then fails, sniffing out facts, uncaging the truth. Corruption on a tight leash, and he's pulling it loose. One paw print, one torn thread, one false alibi, falls dead. Chasing truth through the rails. BronxTails, 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 corruption slips then fails, sniffing out facts, uncaging the truth. Corruption on a tight leash, and he's pulling it loose.
What the heck? That thing was like, I'm bipolar, and I'm like, me too. Hello, happy Friday. I'm so excited it's Friday. Did you guys have to work today, or did you get the day off? I did get the day off today. However, I got up at 6 this morning and started working anyways, because I was like, well, Monday's going to be heck for me because it's going to be so busy since we had a 3-day weekend. So I was like, well, let me try and get some of this stuff done for Monday because, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm officially old, right? When you do things like that, you're like old. So, I'm there. It is Juneteenth today, June 19th, 2026. Hello, Mr. Dago. Good to see you. You see Bronxy? He sleeps like that. He sleeps sitting up. It's the strangest thing. He's done it since the day I got him. So weird. A little ding dong. It is Juneteenth today. Good to see everybody. Hello, Miss Hollyberry UK. We've got Jen, Bianca, Carol, our mods, our favorite mods. Lavs, here comes Karma, G Bean, Mikey's here, Conspiraling's in the house. We've got Giraffe Zebra or Giraffes Bra, Curriculum in Crime, KTO6, Area Stark. I almost said Arian. Sorry. Or is it Araya? Area or Araya? Probably Araya, right? All right. Good to see you. So, because today is Juneteenth, I want to take a quick second and give thanks to some of our Black pioneers in this world whose contributions to medicine and healthcare changed a lot of things. And because of them, things wouldn't be the way they are today. So First up is Dr. Charles Drew, and he developed a method for large-scale blood plasma storage and created the first blood bank during World War II. So Dr. Charles Drew invented the first blood bank for our soldiers in World War II. Another African-American doctor, Dr. Daniel Hale Williams, performed one of the first successful open heart surgeries here in Chicago in 1893. And then we also have Dr. Alexa Kennedy, who became the first Black female neurosurgeon in the U.S. in 1981, specializing in pediatric neurosurgery. So we want to thank our Black pioneers for Juneteenth today. And yeah, that's what we got. So have a good weekend. No, I'm just kidding. So yes, thank you to our amazing Black pioneers in the workforce, in medicine, and just in life in general. Okie dokie. We've got some things. We've got some things and stuff today. I called Moscow yesterday for probably the 60th time in the past 7 days. Let me turn this light up. Is that better? I'm like really close. So I called Moscow yesterday for literally probably the 60th time this week. I just had enough of not being answered. I finally talked to Amber, and I think the only reason she answered my call is because they finally finished the Mason Barstow interview yesterday. But like I said before, they are closed on Fridays during the summer, so we won't get it until Monday, but we will get it on Monday for sure. Hey, Mountain Man, good to see you. Hey, Queen of Jokers, good to see you. So we will get it Monday for sure. The only thing I have to say about that, whether I'm able to give it to you guys Monday or not, is if it comes to me in a bunch of different files that they don't put them in order ever. So it takes a minute to get them in the right order and download all that stuff. So I'm hoping, because it's just a straight interview, that it'll come just as one file. And as soon as it comes in on Monday, we can just play it. If not, and I have to put it together, then we will play it on Tuesday. But either way, there you go. Mason Barstow is coming. It's roughly about 2 hours long. So that'll be a good one. Hopefully we get some good nugs in there. I'm looking forward to it. I'm just going to go ahead and start the Peter interview. I did put it on 1.25 speed. If for some reason it's too fast, let me know and I will turn it down. But he says he's got a couple of good nugs and a couple of things that I noticed that are bothering me in this interview. And then after this interview, I have some really good things to go over with you that I found. So here we go. Let me share. Let me share. Alrighty. Here we go.
I call it this way, an immunity.
Yeah.
All right, if that's makes any sense to you. So, you probably noticed by some of the questions kind of where I'm going with this question here, and you probably have an idea of some of the questions I'm going to ask you as we review it together.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to have some open-ended kind of questions for you as well. Okay, I'm pretty transparent.
Yeah.
If there's anything that you got questions about, by all means ask. But before I get into all of that, I want to share something with you, just because I think there's a misconception by some. Others, I think, recognize it for what it is. But the media has created a problem.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say something to you. That's probably been the hardest thing for me, is the media, listening to all the media and seeing all the shit on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok even. It's insane, and it's so much of it, 99% of it is miscued and wrong.
Yeah.
And I wish I could say something, but I'm like, what's it gonna do?
That was going to be my advice for you, is don't chime in, because there are so many trolls out there and other people that they will target you. They will go after you. But the media, one of the reasons they create problems, now keep in mind, they've been briefed, and they're regularly briefed.
Yeah.
they turn around and they provide misinformation, or they only take snippets of that information and they run with their assumption of the information, is again to create a problem. And when they can create a problem, they have to be the provider of that solution, right? So therefore, you must stay tuned in, because they're going to provide that solution eventually. And if it just wasn't for all these pesky, procedural things and legal things, they should just tell us everything. And reality is, when we do find a suspect, and we will, and we take them to trial, the information needs to be organic, needs to be consolidated to every person's personal knowledge. And as I like to tell people, my job as a detective is to extract information from you, not to feed you information. I know that may sound maybe harsh in a way.
No,
yeah. Imagine if I was defense attorney and I had you on.
So Joe Lake is one of the individuals, officers that actually interviewed Dylan at one point. He did Dylan's December 31st interview. So she had done 2 Moscow interviews, an ISP interview, an FBI interview, and then a Joe Lake interview. I'm glad he says that about mainstream media, although the problem, yes, mainstream media is a problem with the information that they give, the lack of information, the information that's incorrect, but it's also going to be incorrect information from mainstream media when Moscow themselves are giving incorrect information, lying, trying to hide stuff, covering stuff up. So you got it coming twofold here, where mainstream media is messing up the information, but also Moscow's giving them information that is bullcrap anyways. So
on the stand, and I'm like, where did you learn this?
Curriculum and Crime says, I'd love a get ready with me video from you to see how you do your makeup so immaculately every evening. Actually, I've had a couple emails of some women asking me for that. I started to film one, and I will post one for you. It might be tomorrow or this weekend, but I'll post one for you, and I will put it as unlisted so nobody else sees it, but I will tag you in it then so you can see it. Super easy. I don't really know what I'm doing. Onward, Peter.
Yes. And you say, well, Detective Joe Lake, when I sat down, he told me all about these things. You would immediately be excused, right? Your testimony is no good, because it's not your knowledge. It's knowledge that you have been fed or gleaned, which taints your testimony.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So
makes sense.
That's the whole reason why information is not released in criminal investigations, is because they do go to trial, right? You have to preserve the integrity of the investigation.
Even if you know the guy's the one that did it, he still has to go to trial.
Right. He has due process. I mean, that's, the great thing about our Constitution, and maybe our kind of downfall too, is, they have that right. So, questions for me?
No.
All right, let's jump in.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just going to ask, you probably can't tell me anything, what's going on, huh?
I can tell you a little bit, maybe.
What can you tell me?
Well,
what do you guys know anything? Because it kind of keeps me up at night.
I bet it does.
I'm having a hard time sleeping.
Thank you, Jen.
The rest of the semester and got an apartment.
I can give you kind of high levels. I can tell you, like I mentioned before, I've never seen such a team assembled. When I arrived in here, I actually got back in Idaho on Wednesday night and started on the investigation, but Thursday I was before 7.
Thank you, On Top X. Always starting the show off with a bang. We appreciate you, and it's always so good to see you. Thanks for tuning in and hanging out with us.
So much so, I mean, most of us, we're just down with this, whatever's going on, cold or whatever, but we're still chugging away, taking our laptops, uplinking in, whatever we need to do. But we also were rotating people to get fresh people in, and of course, there's a brief process, and we kick them out. But we've collected more data, more footage, more statements than I've ever seen collected on any investigation in 20 years. It's impressive. I mean, truly impressive.
Yeah, the amount you got might be impressive, but what you did with it was very unimpressive. The most unimpressive I've ever seen, actually. Idiot.
I mean, I've been to schools all around the nation, know officers from, some of the largest agencies, NYPD, all the way down to some of the smallest agencies, people of 4 or 5 people. And I've never even heard of anything like this. So Moscow PD really did the right thing. They started calling in for assistance and compiling this team. And when we got here, we have connections with all kinds of other organizations and started bringing them in. It's really, it's quite impressive. What I can tell you is we have literally talked to thousands of people, and both what I call like a triage. In other words, let's just say there's a room full of 100 people and a fight breaks out, and you arrive. First thing you want to know, what happened? So you start asking people, what happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? And pretty soon you find that person that says,
sitting right next to them.
Right. And that's when you bring them in and you sit them down and you interview them. Right. So it maybe end up with 10 that actually saw what happened. Yeah. Unfortunately, you get 10 different accounts of what happened, and that's in perspective. This person was privy to, the argument wasn't started by subject X, it was started by subject Y was the primary aggressor, and but the other person sees it the other way around or something. So it has been really impressive.
Mark B's in the chat. Hello, Mark B. I was working on some questions for you tomorrow, so make sure you guys all tune in to the verdict room tomorrow. It is at 5 p.m., but that is Chicago time. I'm Central time. So if you're going off Dago's time, it'll be 6 p.m. as always. But we will be having Mark B on our channel, and I can't wait to pick his thinking brain. I've been wanting to pick his brain for a while. So that'll be a really good conversation. Make sure and tune in. That
way, the thing is while we have some great leads and we have a lot of people of interest that we've narrowed down.
Dago's an hour ahead of me. So Dago's in Ohio. I'm in Chicago. So, yeah. I think people get confused. That's why I said that, because the thumbnail will say 6 o'clock, but I'll put 5 o'clock on there. And then it's confusing. But yeah. Whoops.
Unfortunately, that we have not got to the point where we can affect arrests.
Right, but you guys have no doubt that you're going to get this motherfucker.
Yeah.
I have something to say about what he just said. Peter just said, so there's no doubt that you're going to get this motherfucker. First of all, I don't know if he's saying that in like a to hype it up type of way, like make it seem like he just hates this dude or whoever did it. I don't know if that's why he said it, kind of to save face type of thing, to make the interviewer think that he's pissed off about it and hates this guy. I don't know if that's the reason or not, but I do want to say that this is the first time of any person being interviewed that we have heard them say something bad about the person who did this. The problem I still have with it is in all of their language, they all talk about it being one person. It can only be one person, never a thought or a word or an explanation that leans towards it being more than one person. That's frustrating in itself. But aside from that, this is the first time we have heard anybody say anything bad about the person or people who committed this crime. He calls them a motherfucker. I found it interesting. I find it interesting why we don't hear anybody say anything bad. Like, nobody's talking crap. Nobody's calling them names. Nobody's angry enough. Nobody's anything enough in this case. Emotions, anger, nothing.
Yeah. Keep in mind, this is, it's a good thing. It really is. I'm a person, I believe in the Constitution. I served after the college. I served 8 years in the Marines. I love our nation. I love our Constitution. Yeah, thank you. So, I love the fact that we have our balancing of government, and I love the fact that the government kind of has rules, right? Unlike other nations. But sometimes those rules are very tough, especially when you're the person working within those rules. You can't just go out and violate people's rights. And I fully agree with that. And I acknowledge that. It takes time to get warrants. It takes time to follow up on these. It takes time to process physical evidence. So that, and a lot of that's just kind of high level. Unfortunately, I can't go into nuts and bolts with you because, again, I can't change your knowledge base. But does that help at all?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Feels a lot better.
Like I said, we've spoken to thousands of people.
Yeah.
We're getting there. But that way. It's not an easy case by no means.
No, yeah, it's not.
First question on family and background. Identify Ethan's family members. Newest parents, Ethan, girlfriend Zena.
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to sit down with him the other night. Great people.
Yeah, I actually That same day I helped him move out Ethan's stuff out of his apartment.
Okay.
And his apartment was over here. You know that dentist office is right here? Close right here. I think he's across the street from that. Help move out of that.
So Peter just said that he helped Ethan's parents move Ethan's apartment out. I have seen, actually, I haven't seen it. Don't let me lie to you. I've heard from people that some people are kind of struggling or maybe having some issues with the fact that there were 2 beds in this apartment. And for me, it just doesn't bother me. His parents are wealthy. There are triplets going to the same school. So for me, it was more like if that was me and I had, you know, me and my brother went to the same school at the same time. And for some reason, I needed to get an apartment and my brother was in a frat or whatever and had somewhere to stay. And there was a 2-bedroom apartment. My parents probably would have made sure that both rooms were furnished or at least had beds in there in case my brother wanted to come there and do homework. Or first of all, my parents would never buy me an apartment. What am I talking about? But no, I'm just kidding. But if one of the other triplets need to do homework or want to get away from where they're at, want to spend time with their brother, want to, you know, stay over, whatever. I mean, it kind of just makes sense to me. Why would you not if you have it? So that doesn't bother me at all. I know it does to some other people, but not for me. Hunter didn't, and he walked in and found them like that. So he's traumatized, but I don't know though. Yeah. The lack of emotion is so strange. I mean, I know he just called him MFer, and that's probably the most emotion we've heard in this interview so far compared to any other interview. So at least we got that out of him, but is it real? Does he mean it? Is he just trying to make it seem like he hates whoever did this? But yes, I still struggle every single time I hear them talk about whoever did this and they refer to them as one person. Never does it cross their mind that it could have been more than one.
And then,
Yeah, we went into his apartment.
yeah, they probably didn't find anything.
No, and to me, I mean, you tell me, it looked like he never slept there.
He didn't.
Oh.
He didn't ever sleep there.
I mean, it looks
He
like
slept there like 4 times the whole semester.
Yeah, he had 2 beds in there, right? And both of them looked like they were somewhat made. I mean, they were made.
Yeah.
But I would almost call it a sterile environment.
Oh yeah, he never was there ever.
So if he wasn't there, where was he?
He was always at Xana's apartment, stayed there every night pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
If he wasn't there at Xana's apartment, would he stay over at the frat?
He would never not stay at Xana's, as far as I know.
Okay.
Yeah, he would never pass out at the fraternity ever, I don't think.
Okay.
Not that I know. He never went in my room. He'd always get walked home, or which was Xana's. Yeah.
I gotcha. What year are you? Okay. So at the frat, do you have your own room?
I live with one other guy, but yeah.
So yeah, like 2 room.
Man,
yeah, versus the 4 or 6 or.
Yeah, there's 2 mans and 6 mans.
Okay.
Another thing, I don't know if do you guys know that Ethan's not a freshman, right? I
Yeah.
keep saying that Ethan's a freshman.
Yes, we know all that.
Okay.
We tried to correct them. They were unwilling to.
Curriculum says, here's an idea to raise more money for your FOIAs. You could auction off a FaceTime session with Sweet Bronx. That's actually a really cute idea. That really, really is. Hey, if you have any other ideas too, send them on over, because we still need quite a bit for the knives. With me matching what we did on Saturday, we're just over halfway there. So hopefully today, tomorrow. Thank you, Kawanda. We've got 5 new K9 crew members. Welcome to the family. Thank you, Kawanda, so much. You're so appreciated. We are just over halfway there for the new one. I have to post it on my community page. I keep forgetting, but it's 700 and something. But we will get every knife found in that area, the time of the crime and after, for the next like 3 months or 6 months, I believe. Over 250 calls for large knives found in the area after the crime. We will get pictures of all of them. We can compare them to the wounds. I'm kicking myself for not getting this one before, but it's just so expensive. But then I didn't really I saw the reason to get it, of course, or I would have never FOIA'd it. But now that we have the wounds and the measurements and things like that, it will be very interesting to see what we got. So with me matching what was donated last Saturday, we're a little over halfway there. So hopefully today, tomorrow, and maybe a couple days next week, we will end up with enough to go ahead and pay for it next week. So I just appreciate all you guys so much. I hope you know. What is the FOIA account at? I don't remember. We're just over halfway. So for something towards the 700, don't quote me. I have to look, but it's close to that. Thank you so much. No. We don't have 700 left. The whole FOIA is just over 700. I'll post it to the community page after this live. I promise this time I will. I just keep forgetting. It's 7 something. So with last weekend, you guys sent, I matched it. We're just over halfway to the 7, whatever, 12 or 47 or whatever it is. We'll get there. I'm not worried about. Holy crap. What are we at now? Oh my gosh. We're really close. We're really, really close. Thank you so much. That's incredible. Holy cow. Thank you so much. Thank you, Moto. You're amazing. Moto is the man. The man. Thank you so, yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. So much. What I wanted to show you as well before we go further in this interview, I saw that Kim yesterday showed, where Ethan's apartment is. So I want to show you, well, goodness, that's not what I wanted. So I want to show you her video. It's really short. I'm just going to show you exactly where it's at. Kawanda, oh my gosh, thank you so much. You guys are incredible. Absolutely incredible. Well, we're there. We made it. Thank you so much. Holy cow. You guys just show up for all of us. It's not even just for me. You guys show up for everybody in this community, and it's incredible. Absolutely incredible. You guys are just amazing. Jesus. Also, what do you do for a living? Because I need that job. Thank you guys so much. Yep, we're there. We're good. Thank you so much. All right, I'm going to add this, and Kimmy's going to show you where Ethan's apartment was. He sat across from a dentist office.
The 76 gas station, and there were apartments here. And we thought, well, it's got to be in one of these apartment buildings, right? Well, now we have an additional piece of information, and I don't know the name of the dentist office.
Incredible.
It looked like it was possibly
Me
here.
too.
So I'm going to go down to Street View here. I have a feeling. Let me see. We're going to go right down to this intersection that's right by the 76er. Okay. Oh, I think this is the one they think it is. Oh, look at that, you guys. So right at this, so there's the 76er. This is what I had marked on my map, okay? 76er, A&W, and back behind these trees, there were apartments. So we thought, oh, must be back there. That was like, the distance right there is about 0.47 if you flew from Sigma Chi to there. So about a half mile to a mile. And then this is Steiner Avenue. And this is, we hear the name of that road, right? Steiner. I don't remember all the times we hear about Steiner. So now I'm curious about that. So that's Steiner. what's this main road? This is Highway 95. So the big 4-lane highway is Highway 95. And the intersection, it's also called Main Street. So this is Main Street, Highway 95. And then Steiner goes.
Janelle Braun, right? Mark B, I think that's her last name, the blonde. Janelle is Molly's friend in the white truck. Yes. And she was the one who like kind of ran from the cops and drove into Washington. So they weren't supposed to, they can't keep chasing her into a different state. And she ended up getting away in the white truck, that whole story. Yep.
Oh, I know why we hear Steiner, because it must connect to Walenta eventually or something, or Ridge Road, one of those behind the house. That's probably it. So then this is an apartment building. Looks like an old hotel, doesn't it? Or old motel.
I'm so curious what year this picture was taken. That's what I want to know. What year was this particular picture taken? I mean, it has to be fairly new, because this vehicle down here in the corner where the chat is, it's like a light grayish bluish. Looks like one of the newer Broncos or a newer Jeep, like a Jeep, like Rampage type vehicle. So it's got to be fairly new.
Right across from a dentist. Right here.
This right here is Ethan's apartment. This is where he lived. It's still closer to 1122 than I thought it was. So yeah, that's where Ethan's apartment is, or was.
Let me see if I can go this way. Where's my...
I still think it's crazy that they had the nerve to say, well, Ethan's apartment was so clean, it was sterile. And that's fine. But when it's Bryan Kohberger's apartment, it's not fine to be clean or sterile. Ridiculous. All right, let's get on back to Peter. Peter. Dun, 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 dun.
To make changes. That's fine, because they don't want to act like they don't know.
Yeah, I think university is the one that's putting that.
We have their full academic record. We have everything.
Yeah, he's a sophomore. He was a sophomore.
Yeah, that's on them.
Yeah.
We can only provide them information if they want to correct themselves. They can correct themselves, but what happens when they correct themselves?
They look bad.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it causes doubt, and then they start losing viewership, and when they lose viewership, they lose marketing capital, right? And it goes on and on.
Yeah.
So, have you ever been to the Chafin's place?
I haven't. They keep saying they want to bring me up during break, but I haven't been there before now.
Okay. Did Ethan ever go down to your folks?
Nope. He was gonna do that this break. He was gonna come down and visit, but yeah.
That would have been pretty cool for him.
Yeah, it would have been sick. Gonna do that. And come get a change of scenery. Work a few days down there.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. And
Yes. Apparently the apartment of Ethan's that everybody thought was Ethan's behind the gas station, the 76. Apparently they're saying that is not the correct apartment, and it's across from a dentist office, not behind the 76. I mean, I think either way, if it's this one we just showed or the one that we always thought it was behind the 76, they're about the same distance from 1122. So I don't really find it that big of a deal. It's not like we're going to get any information from it. We're not going to see anything from it. Apparently they went in there, but who knows what they got out of there? I don't think we'll ever see it or know. They kept that hidden for a long time, and we need to ask ourselves why. I think it was possibly used for something.
It does the mind and body good work.
Mm-hmm. Get on the back of a horse. It's like a different type of therapy.
Yeah, it is, definitely. Describe quality, positive, negative, Ethan's relationship, strengths, bonds, surrounded by love.
Before we keep going, I want to let you guys know that yesterday I was listening to this interview. In the beginning, Joe Lake says something about filling out a questionnaire. So it sounds to me like everybody they interviewed, they had them fill out a questionnaire. Yesterday, I FOIA'd every single questionnaire. I want to know if there were other questions on there. I want to know what the answers are. I want to know everything. So yesterday, I FOIA'd all of the questionnaires, every single last one of them. I FOIA'd something else too, and now I can't remember what it is. Oh, I FOIA'd. Do you guys remember we heard Kaylee was given a citation for underage drinking? I FOIA'd the body cam for that as well. So Mikey put me on game for that one, but I FOIA'd that one today. So, and then I've got, I think 6 of them pending right now for responses, whether I'm going to get denied or approved.
Hardly ever had arguments, kind of goofy, quick to laugh.
Super goofy.
So I want to, obviously there's going to be things I'm going to queue up on, right? I understand, really gregarious guy.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of be the center of attention,
Oh, yeah.
unwantingly, not unwillingly, but unwantingly.
Yeah.
It sounds like just the people I've spoken with him thus far is he just kind of had a way of drawing people towards him, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Never had arguments. I'm going to queue up on this one. So we all have conflicts. We all have, sometimes it's with siblings, sometimes it's with friends. Whatever. I know that people got kicked out of parties out of their house, out of Xana's house periodically and things like that. If there were an argument, how would Ethan handle that?
He wouldn't yell. That's for one thing. He'd keep his voice, the bass in his voice would be low. Be real with them, and yeah.
You ever observe any of that?
No, I've kicked people out of parties because I'm not afraid to be a dick, but but he's kind of he doesn't like altercation. So I really haven't seen that. I was going to say something before. No, it'll come back.
So Ethan doesn't like altercation. So it makes me wonder, how much did it bother him when he got that text message saying Xana's cheating on you? It makes it sound to me like he had some jealousy in his bones regarding Xana and how popular she was and upbeat she was and all the attention she got. And I'm sure there were men hitting on her left and right. And it sounds to me from Peter's interview that Ethan had kind of some jealousy within him. But it also sounds like he's probably not going to voice his opinion on that. So it makes me wonder how much was built up inside of Ethan of things that were bothering him, that he was struggling with, and he just didn't talk about it to anybody. That can be another reason why he was using the amount that he was using, whether it's, Adderall or maybe something else or whatever.
Damn it.
I'm talking about altercations, kind of.
No, just before that. Damn it. It wasn't anything big.
Well, here's the interesting thing is sometimes even the smallest things help us solve the case. So he said he doesn't like confrontation.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
He doesn't like confrontation because he likes his image and like how he's viewed by other people, which is how a lot of people are. I know I'm that way, but not as much as he was. Like he didn't like being a dick to people, being rude, mean,
right,
kicking him out of party type deal. And when he was in the wrong, he would admit it. He wouldn't argue with it about it.
Okay.
He knew he was in the wrong, that type of thing.
That's pretty big.
Yeah.
Especially if someone who's 20.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know if he had any beefs or any bad blood with anyone?
Oh, here's what I was going to say. I was just going to say, he and his brother.
Okay.
What? What can you direct us to the audio? I won't play it now because playing it through my computer never sounds as good as when I play it through my other devices and I can actually hear the thing, but I would like to play it later so I can hear it. Do you happen to know what time and where I can find maybe the best audio on that? I struggle with audio stuff. I don't often hear what other people hear. Thank you for that as well.
So minor arguments.
Super minor, Not anything we didn't do.
Do you have any siblings?
Possible. It's just weird that they had that Cougar Den thing
Okay.
that they made, the Cougar Den thing, the chat that they made that day. And Xana wasn't part of it, but they had Ethan as part of it and added him that day. It's weird. I felt like, especially digging into a lot of the things that Bethany says, there's something with Ethan. There's something with Ethan. I just can't know what I know when reading it and say that there's not something with Bethany and Ethan. There's something there. I just don't know what it is. I don't know if, sometimes you just connect with people easier. So it could have been something just as simple as that, where she just connected with him easier, or there could have been more, but it's weird. So yeah, I agree. Hey, Six String, good to see you.
Do you think Ethan had that same sense of responsibility? He kind of seemed like the leader of the trio.
Yeah, he definitely did. He was definitely the most mature.
Not that I know of. Taratha says, was Peter at the grub truck? Not that I know of, but I could be wrong. I don't remember seeing him or hearing anybody else say that Peter was there. But I could be wrong. Possibly. Very possible. I did. So I'll just plug it right now since you said it. So Everything Redacted said, Logan, did you listen to Travis's new video about Pete? He implies that Pete was heavily involved, or Pete's linguistics, what he says and what he doesn't say, makes Travis think that that's possible. Or at least, at the very, very least, something's off there, right? Yes, I did listen to Travis's video and it's just fascinating. He does an amazing job. It's a great video. If you guys have not tuned in to Travis T Logic, if you haven't tuned in to the Peter assessment he did on Peter's first interview, please go listen to it after this live. Stay here with us for a minute. First, I got some good stuff after this interview. But definitely go check it out. Go listen to it. It is definitely worth the listen. He says some great stuff and he finds some great stuff. Thank you so much. There's Travis T Logic's page. Make sure and check it out. Yes, absolutely. I did. And it's great. It's a great video. I learn a lot when I listen to his work.
Okay. You don't know of Ethan getting in any trouble, being arrested, having court involvement, anything like that. from what I understand, because that was one of the first things I asked, is how many times has law enforcement been called to that residence? It sounds like you got called there a few times for parties.
The residents they were killed at?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. There's been law enforcement called there a couple times, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like everyone generally runs out the back and, and scatters.
Or just stays in the house, yeah.
I joke about this, but it's true. When I was in college, I paid my rent by having keggers.
Yeah, that's what one of the guys told me about that.
And so I get it. I truly do.
Yeah.
That's why I said the only thing I care about is finding the person that's responsible for this.
Right.
The person.
We all had youthful indiscretions, right?
Yeah.
Describes Ethan's personality, bubbly, which made people love him, love being around him, pardon me. Very personable.
Yeah.
Okay. How was he in the frat? Because I know there can be some.
Yeah, no, he was not allowed to live in the house because of his grades.
Okay.
Back-to-back semesters, he had GPA below 2.75, which we consider that deficient. So he needed to get above a 2.75 to live in the house the next semester. So that's why he was living way over here in this apartment. And so he was still a member though, like he was still invited to all of our stuff, just couldn't live in the house.
Is that part of the national rules?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's adjusted by our house bylaws too.
Okay. What position do you hold? Do you hold a position with frat?
I'm the
Why would they redact that? Alina says, I just recently heard an old video of Dot that was crazy. She was tight. She told of screams and times before we ever saw 1112 camera. Really? She says, she talks about the screams and the times. See, I want to go back and listen to some and read and talk about some of the stuff from the very, very, very beginning that I've never shared because I wasn't here in the beginning. That might be fun to do and interesting because we forget a lot of stuff. But yeah, I don't remember her saying that. So I'm definitely going to have to go back and check it out. Thank you.
Okay. Did Ethan hold any positions? No. GPA, pretty.
Yeah.
Okay. But he's pretty well liked by all the brothers?
Yeah.
Brothers?
Obviously, there's a couple people that looked at him like he was lazy because his grades weren't the greatest, but that was very few.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm not going to keep stopping it like this. We'll get through it. But everything's redacted says, who is Dot? I've heard her name so many times. In the very, very beginning of this case, over 3 years ago, there was a girl that came out. She was doing interviews on different channels, and she was saying that she was very near the house that morning at a friend's house, like next door, and she was on the balcony outside, like smoking a cigarette or something, and she was looking out over the balcony and she could see the backyard of 1122 King Road, and she said that she could see people out there smoking weed, smoking cigarettes, hanging around, so that everybody was awake in the morning. She said she saw, I think, Emma Bailey, Demetrius, Dylan was out there. There were people there, and that's what she claimed. But it has come out that Dot was not telling the truth. So all of the information she gave apparently is just not true. She then came out and said that she was giving a secondhand story that was told by one of her friends, which now nobody believes her because you've lied so many times. She would add different stuff to the story that she didn't previously say. Just, she's a liar. It wasn't. People hung on every word she said, but it ended up not being true. That's who Dot is in a nutshell.
Do you know of any beefs within the fraternity? And not just within the house itself, maybe with other
fraternities.
Yeah.
No, there was always people that me and Ethan would talk shit about just because they were obviously odd, or weird, or annoying, or the typical college humor type of thing, making fun of people behind their back.
That's why I want to go back and listen to it, because everybody, even myself, everybody, most people say that she's not telling the truth, but now I do want to go back and listen, just because if there are things that add up, I mean, nah, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe.
Ethan kind of did that a little bit to like a couple people. But no, you didn't really have any beef.
Okay.
Beef. You never started any of that.
Can you talk about some people you guys thought were on? Maybe that were kind of within the circles.
Yeah. The names.
Hmm?
He doesn't think we're weird because he asked me like, "Hey, you think I'm weird or something?" He's like, "No, man." So, but it's spelled with a C. It's really starts with a C. Yeah. I don't think at all he has anything to do with it, but it's
No,
just
yeah. Anyone else?
Human. We just didn't like him because he's
What's the spelling of his last?
Right.
pretty sure.
I'm sure I have it on the list.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. That's what came to mind when I was talking about that.
Okay. Anyone else just kind of like a creeper, you know, lurking around here or there? Or I know fraternities, I know how it works and everything else. I wasn't part of one in school. I was working my ass off and going to school and everything else.
Your way through it, huh?
I was. Didn't take any loans. I was pretty proud of that. But a lot of my buddies were.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's kind of interesting because, you know, I mean, it's a tight circle, but yet there's always this kind of loner or two that are just
odd.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyone like that?
Awkward. Not really. That guy's a little awkward. But that's all I can really think of. Maybe not necessarily awkward. He's a douche. Literally.
Okay. That's fair. I mean, I'm asking, I'm picking your brain for a reason on these things.
Yeah.
Anyone else that you can think of? I mean, again, just that kind of person that maybe pervs up on the girls or something, even whether it be a formal or just, you know, a party or anything.
Actually, yeah. I don't think he has anything to do with it, but I have heard in the past he was saying weird shit to the girls, specifically the girls in that house. What's his freaking name? Give me a second. Let's take a minute to find this. Oh, I got it. Yeah. Hello.
Does anybody know who he's talking about?
He was friends with all of them though, so I don't think he has anything to do with it. But I mean, I've heard of him. I've heard people say that he said some weird stuff to the girls. Weird stuff, as in like sexual shit stuff. I didn't hear that for myself, by the way. I was told that.
That's fair. Anyone else?
I thought it was going to be Kohberger or Showalter. Yeah.
No, but I do have another name of people that Ethan and I thought were weird and really, really annoying. One of the guys, his name is
Okay.
That's all I got.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who was that one? He says Kai, so like either Kai or Kyle or something like that. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what came to my mind off the bat was Kai. Interesting.
Okay.
I don't think he has it. Yeah, I don't think any of these people have anything to do with it, but I don't know. I honestly don't know. You know.
Oh, remember I talked about how, okay, there's a room of 100 people and 5 breaks out and we, you know, a lot of times.
Maybe some of these names could help you too.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times, you know, we go out there and we triage, we talk to a bunch of people, and then we come back and we talk to them 2-3 more times. And sometimes, you know, same names get mentioned and things of that nature. And it doesn't mean that they're guilty or anything else.
Yeah.
It just means maybe we need to have more of a one-on-one with them and just have a chat.
Yeah.
Right. So that's all. And it helps us out. I mean, because even though he or any of these may have nothing to do with it, maybe they recognize something that you haven't, right? They recognize that loner that is all.
But that's why I want that's why I FOIA'd the questionnaires, because I want to see how much were they prepared for these interviews? What questions are on the questionnaire? So what? They got time to prepare. They knew what answers were going to be, what questions were going to be asked in these interviews so they could take their sweet time filling it out, and then we're totally prepared. That's why I want to know what's on the questionnaires, what questions, and then what answers.
Lurking beyond where you're looking, right? Because they themselves, you know, you think about multiple circles, right? And here's your purview of what's going on, and because they aren't necessarily in that inner circle, they're out here. They not only, you know, you see part of that circle, but you never see this outlying circle, right? And maybe they are privy to that, and you never know. Like I said, it can help out.
For this one, I remember that Ethan's the one that told me what he was saying, some of this shit stuff.
Okay.
Ethan had told me that the next day.
I could see that.
Okay. Who, from what, you know, talking with
Hunter and Maisie,
admits that Ethan shared a lot with him. They had none, but he said if there was anything that was dark, he would share with people.
Oh yeah.
So is there anything like that, any person out there that Ethan's just mentioned before, he's like, I don't like that guy, or man, that guy creeps me out, or anything of that nature?
We both didn't like, not because he's done anything bad to us or any of that, just because he's really, really awkward.
What does he look like?
Curly hair, chubby-ish, kind of slender, chubby kind of build. Acne.
Okay.
Yeah.
So probably not real popular with ladies?
No, definitely not.
Okay.
Somebody that's chubby and slender at the same time. However that works, I don't know. Maybe their upper body is chubby and their legs are skinny. I don't know. But he said that that person has acne as well. That's okay. I'm trying to think who I remember having acne. Now I'll have to go through pictures. Curly hair. I wonder if, gosh, I wish he would. I mean, I wish on every question they would ask for more details. Explain that to me. Give me more information. I want to know what kind of curly hair. Is it like, you know, just curly where you've got a couple of flips in the back for a guy curly? Or are we talking curly like David B, or who else had curly hair? Yeah, I don't know. I want to know what kind of curly hair. Or just don't dang redact it. Jesus.
Yeah. But I also wrote in here, or the gal wrote in here, you were saying if he had any, like, I don't know the way to put it, but he was telling me that it was really hard to date Xana, which that might be irrelevant right now. But the reason he said was because she was really also had a super bubbly personality, which was really attractive, and guys flocked to her even though she had a boyfriend. And being Xana, she wouldn't entertain it, but just the attention she got from it would get Ethan jealous.
Okay.
That's so interesting to me. He straight up the night before, or that night, told Pete that it was difficult to be with Xana. Well, what do we get from that as well? Xana wasn't with him then, because he's not going to say that to Pete while Xana's standing right there. So that had to be when Xana was not with them. So why does Pete not remember that part? He doesn't speak on Xana splitting up from them at all that night. Why? But also, it's giving like Pete is trying to kind of, you know, he's supposedly so close with Ethan. It's his best friend. But it's almost like he constantly throws him under the bus. Like, oh, he said it was, because to me, that sounds like you're not that confident. If you're going to let somebody like Xana, who obviously wanted to be with Ethan, just because she's, outgoing and has boys and men that are interested in her, or find that attractive, that makes Ethan not confident, and tell Pete that it was difficult to date her. That tells me that he's, Ethan's jealous and he's not very confident in himself. But I just don't understand why Pete's like kind of throwing him under the bus type of thing. You know, all we've heard them say about Ethan, they've all these interviews sound the same. And every single one of them is like, Ethan's great. He's outgoing. He's this and that. But then some of them have things to say, like he's not smart. He's not, he's not responsible. He's not this. He's using drugs.
Yeah.
No, that's important to know.
Yeah.
I mean, by all accounts, they have a great relationship.
Yeah.
And I can see that she's kind of fun and gregarious, just like he is.
Yeah.
So it'd be safe to say that Xana had other admirers, but she never allowed those to.
Yeah, exactly.
Any of those jump to the front of the page for you?
No, she wouldn't. Yeah, none. Because people kind of knew, oh, you don't mess with Ethan because he was a huge dude. You don't want to mess with him. Yeah.
Okay.
He's like 6'4". Big old dude.
So it'd be safe to say Xana had other admirers, but she belonged with Ethan.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's kind of the problem for me too. He says, nobody wants to mess with Ethan. He's a big old dude. Well, somebody or some people came in there and it didn't seem to bother them that Ethan was there and took him out. So Ethan being there and Ethan being huge didn't seem to faze the people who did this, right?
She
never acted on it.
Yeah.
Okay. Some of his habits, like Xbox, football, all sports, partying with his friends. Worked a lot with. Sounds like kind of all American kid these days, right?
Mm-hmm.
You play Xbox?
No, I play a little bit of PlayStation, but it's not even my PlayStation. It's my roommates, and then I play on my computer, but I don't play a whole lot.
Good.
Yeah.
Melts your brain. You need those for being a future titan of business.
Yeah.
Okay. Did he play a lot online, like with other players?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He played a lot online, but with other fraternity members.
Like local?
Yeah. He played Rocket League.
I don't even know what that is.
Huh?
I don't even know what that is.
I've watched people play it before, but I've never played it. It's just like you kick a ball with a car, or you hit a ball with a car trying to make it. It's like soccer with a car or something. Yeah. It seems stupid, but whatever.
Any recent positive or changes? He was always happy.
Yeah, I can't. Nothing. Literally nothing.
Okay. Significant events prior to his death? Have none.
Yeah.
When Xana's still getting along well?
Just what I told you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Hangs out with him every day. Can't think of one answer for any of these questions. You have got to be kidding me.
Was there any one person more so than another that he would be jealous of?
No.
That maybe was showing, attention towards Xana.
Because she wouldn't let that happen either. She wouldn't, if somebody was starting to get touchy-feely with her, she would back off, get away from me type deal. But yeah, no, he never said anything to me about being more uncomfortable with one dude towards her than another guy.
Okay.
And that was the first time the night they got killed, that night was the first time that he had mentioned to me that it was hard dating her. So.
When did he mention that?
When we were at the formal. We went to the formal for Kappa Alpha Theta that night. He went with his sister and hung with another gal.
How did you take his comment towards you? I mean, you know him really well. Kind of how he was projecting the comment. How did you take it?
I'm not even going to lie to you. I grabbed him aside, took him outside, and I was like, okay, let's go have a beer and talk about it. And we went and talked about it. And he kind of just elaborated on it. Because at first he said, it's hard dating Xana. I was like, what do you mean? And then we kind of went outside and talked about it. And he told me about how she is always surrounded by dudes because of her personality. And I guess he was a jealous individual, which I didn't catch that. Yeah,
I don't know why when he says, I guess he's a jealous individual, I feel like that's just the weirdest words to put together. to describe that. He's a jealous individual. I mean, if that's not extremely distancing language, I don't know what is. Calling your supposed best friend an individual is odd, very odd.
It was just short. We were outside for a short time, and then we went back inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he didn't say any one person or another.
Exactly.
Pardon me.
The night they got killed. No. Yeah, well, maybe it's because he's getting texts. His girlfriend.
Other than that, sounds like
Yeah.
things were normal.
Yeah.
Risky behaviors. Drinking that night and had played Xbox too. What about poly use? And what poly use is like combining, whether it be a prescribed medication with alcohol or maybe an illicit narcotic or something like that with alcohol. Were they into that at all?
No, he took he might have taken an Adderall that night.
Why do you think that?
He said he would take Adderall because he needed energy.
No, he was going to say something else right there. He started to say, because he said, I want to know what he said. And Joe Lake should have caught that and asked him to slide it on back. Take it back. Take it back now, y'all. One hot this time. But he should have had him finish what he was actually going to say, because Pete said, because he said, no, I want to know what Ethan said. Oh, yeah, he took Adderall because he needed energy. Honey, dear, you're not going to take that much Adderall and go to sleep. Because if he's taking Adderall for energy, then he doesn't need it. Because if you need it, it's not going to give you energy. So then I guess obviously Ethan didn't need it. So then how was he sleeping with that much amphetamine in his system? And Pete's just like, normal. Normal day, bro.
Does he normally take Adderall?
Not every time he drinks, but I mean,
Everybody clap your hand.
I mean, it's a good. He takes it a good amount.
He takes them for energy.
Yeah.
Is he prescribed those?
No.
Where's he get them from?
Anyone, people, I don't even know, honestly. People that he takes.
Stop it. Freaking stop it. This makes me so, I'm like always grabbing my face when I get like upset. This makes me so angry. Your supposed best friend was just horrifically murdered, and you know he's taking Adderall. I'm sure you went with him many, many times to get it. I'm sure you took it as well. Birds of a feather. And when asked where he got it from, he plays stupid. I don't know. I don't know. Best friend. Don't know a thing about him. Give me a break. Everybody knows where it is. Everybody knows who's getting it. I'm starting to think that maybe Ethan was the one who was actually maybe buying and selling the Adderall. And then instead of, collecting tons of money on it, he's eating the profit, in Adderall. So he'll get money and buy Adderall in bulk, and instead of, saving the money on it to re-up or whatever. I mean, he would save some money on it, but the rest of it would go to Ethan being able to take some of his supply and take it himself. I'm starting to think that, because it seems as if nobody wants to say where they got it. And my thing is, does nobody want to say where they got it because they all use it and it was actually coming from Ethan, but they don't want, and this is all just speculation, but they don't want, the officers to know that they're also buying and using it. So they just cover it up like Jonah. No, nobody knows. Bull crap. Stop it. You guys don't, none of you care about truth and justice. None of you care about getting justice for your friends who went through absolute hell the last moments of their life. And you guys just don't care. Sick.
Next people, I don't even know.
So even though it's prescription med, there's kind of this way to get them.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, but it wasn't.
I'm not even sure who it was. No, he doesn't have a prescription.
Okay.
I don't even know if he has a prescription for anything, honestly. I don't think he does.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. I'm almost positive he doesn't have a prescription for that.
Okay. His daily schedule, he'd get up, breakfast, go to class, do homework, study for quizzes. Usually we'd come over, just hang out, watch movies, Xbox, nearly every day. That's what I hear. You two are pretty inseparable.
Yeah.
Pretty tight.
Yeah.
When you guys were hanging out, what would you guys talk about?
Maybe.
Anything and everything going on. What the plan was for the rest of the day, what we're going to do tomorrow. How school's going. Girls. Talked about girls a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, just typical boy stuff.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Would you say that the focus was more on what you're going to do tomorrow, what you're doing today, in other words, yet to happen today, or was it what was in the past?
If we ever talked about the past, it'd mainly just be talking about like good memories, like, oh, last weekend was so fun, we should do that again, type of deal. But
okay, so you're more looking forward to future events than,
Yeah.
than dwelling on past events or recapping
100%.
positives.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about some of the girls. There's some of Zaina's roommates, very attractive. You ever hook up with any of those girls? You ever try with any of the others? Okay.
no, I always thought
Who did he hook up with? Who did he hook up with? Who do you guys think? Who do you think he hooked up with? I mean, obviously, I don't really think it's Maddie. I don't think it's Maddie. Let me see if I can. Whoops. We're gonna start a poll. Who did Peter hook up with at 1122? Kaylee, Maddie, Dylan, or Bethany? All right. Okay, I just started a poll if you can see it. Oops. We've got it looks like Maddie's winning the poll. Oh no, Toothany's winning. Toothany is winning by a long shot. Holy moly. You know what? That could be. That surely could be. Maybe Toothany hooking up with Pete is why Toothany was so comfortable around Ethan, because then they would just talk about, stuff like that, like the friends of Ethan's that Bethany hooks up with. I don't know. I mean, we have 50 votes. We'll just end it there. So it looks like Toothany won. Interesting. I wonder if, Maddie kissed a boy. So I'm not, just because she has a boyfriend doesn't mean she isn't hooking up with somebody or kissing people or doing whatever. It seems like Kaylee was other people's words, not mine, but sleeping around with quite a few people. So that's possible. I don't know. Let's hear from old Pete here and see if he gives us any more information. I couldn't imagine it would be Dylan. I just can't. I don't know.
Maddie was really pretty, but I never like tried anything with her because she had that boyfriend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's your
So
boyfriend?
not
I think
Maddie.
his name's Jim, right? Yeah.
Okay. You know him at all?
No, I've never met him. I've
Okay.
just seen pictures of him.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he graduated last year, I think, right? I don't know. Maybe he did.
It's hard for me to add
Yeah.
information. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe you guys are right. Maybe it was Toothany. Interesting. Very interesting. God. Why do they redact so much?
I was friends with Ethan before he and Xana were started becoming a thing and dating, but I mean, it didn't hurt, that's for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Did
having
Ethan
that
know
comment.
that?
Yeah, he knew that. And this was way prior to them dating.
I suppose they could be talking about him dating Xana before and whatever that was about. I guess I was just thinking other than Xana. I thought that was kind of established already in my mind. I don't know why, but I thought that him being in a relationship with
I mean,
Xana was
I haven't talked, I'm not super close with
already previously established. So I thought he meant like currently or in the recent past, sleeping with another roommate or hooking up with another roommate, kissing another roommate, interested in another roommate. But I thought it was just somebody other than somebody he had already dated in the past.
I saw her at the funeral. I didn't talk at Xana's funeral this last weekend. I didn't really talk to her though. I talked about her just a little bit, and she's pretty rough shape.
Yeah, we're gonna bring in someone to help her out a
Okay.
little bit. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I missed that. Who's in rough shape? Stupid redactions. These redactions are in rough shape. None. Nobody. It floored me. The first interview, the short one with Pete, when the cop started crying.
By the way, I mean, is she?
I haven't talked. I'm not super close with them.
Okay.
I saw her at the funeral. I didn't talk at Xana's funeral this last weekend. I didn't really talk to her though. I talked about her just a little bit, and she's pretty rough shape.
Yeah, we're gonna bring in someone to help her out
Okay.
a little bit.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So, okay.
What? Thank you,
You
Jen.
thought Madison's good.
Thank you so much. Congratulations to the new K9 crew member, our brand new Paw Pal, baby. Wait, who did they bring in to help Dylan then? And what did that entail? What did they do for her? What'd they do? Give her an apartment? Put her in hiding? Interesting. I don't think she was in rough shape. I think that if she seemed to be in rough shape, I think it was her acting.
Talking about you never.
Yeah. I never pursued anything because she had a boyfriend.
And then
The
what about Haley?
child's.
I didn't think she was attractive, so I never went for her.
Okay, that's fair.
Just not my type.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, they're on social media a lot.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, one of the analysts that's working on my team looks at him, and that's her job as an analyst, is to kind of decipher a bunch of things. And she's like, they were really close to being social media influencers. just because of their following groups and other things of that nature. You know, their charisma through the lens of a camera that way. Did you recognize that, or did anyone else recognize that? You know, they had that ability.
I just noticed that their Instagram accounts are just typical sorority girl Instagram accounts. They have a bunch of followers and they do up their photos to make them look really good and post them, and they're all about the likes and comments and all that stuff. But I didn't really think anything past that.
Modern. I mean, I've got a daughter in the same age.
Yeah.
That comment right there, doesn't that make you like think in your head like the whole mean girl thing and the whole I'm just alive for likes and views and clicks and look at me's? You know, because I just can't get over, and I know I say this often, but I just can't get over the fact that Maddie and Kaylee go to Corner Club. Nobody talks to them. Maddie and Kaylee go to Grub Truck. Nobody talks to them. And Pete's talking about how they're just all about social media and look at me and likes and views. That's in my words, not his words, but you know, were they mean to people? And this was retaliation of that. And that's why we have all of the wounds that messed up just Maddie and Kaylee's faces. But Ethan and Xana got in the way. I don't know.
So yeah, I get it. Okay.
No.
Who was Ethan seeing before he and Xana got together?
He wasn't in a relationship with anyone prior to my knowledge, but he had hooked up with a couple girls. I don't even know their names though, but I know he had hooked up with a couple of different gals before, but it was way prior.
Gals?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Xana, his girlfriend, for being close.
Yeah.
And then
Me and Xana were still really good friends after
yeah.
that all. We just kind of got past that whole thing and kind of realized we're not little kids anymore. We don't have to be all awkward around each other. So we just we're really good friends and we're stayed pretty close.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. Do you ever go hiking with them or whatever?
No.
Hiking?
Or anything of that nature?
No.
Why would he say hiking? Have we ever heard of any of them hiking? That's a really strange thing to say. When was this interview? 12/5? It's a really strange thing to say. Especially because we know Bryan Kohberger, that's his thing. Absolutely. And you know what else is strange? Wow. Yeah. You know what else is strange? They wanted us to think that they didn't get Bryan Kohberger's name until the 19th of December. But remember, we saw paperwork that had Bryan Kohberger's name on it starting the 5th of December. And when is this interview? Oh, I'm sorry. It's the 5th of December. Interesting. None of them hike. None of them even come across as people that like to hike in their spare time. Why would he say?
Because I don't live close. So during the summer when you do all that boating activities and stuff,
Yeah. I was just going over your statement about, what Ethan had to say.
Good.
I don't think we need to cover that again.
Yep. Kaylee and Maddie dropped out of the sorority, and that's a big no-no.
That's a really interesting statement. Describe how Ethan interacts with strangers. Said he didn't know strangers. Everyone knows his friend.
Yeah.
Does he do any part-time work or anything like that?
No, not currently. He just worked in the summertime. saved up for that semester's worth of, or that year's worth of groceries and stuff.
Do you know what kind of business his dad runs?
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds like it. And then he worked as a waiter too. I think I put that in there somewhere. He worked as a waiter during the summer.
Yep. A couple of girls over at WSU.
Yeah, I don't know their names, but I saw them around last year a couple of times, and they said that they knew each other from childhood friendships and stuff. But it was mainly hanging out with them because of family friends. I don't know. Ethan was never interested in them, but that's the only thing I can think of for that aspect or that question.
Okay. You ever meet Xana's sister?
Yeah, I'd met her a couple times before.
What'd you think of her?
I don't know. I look at Kaylee as being similar to Olivia because the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. They're siblings, they're family, they grew up together. They probably have a lot of the same energy, the same attitude, the same. And if she's anything like Olivia, then no thank you. No thank you.
Cell phone use, he's always on his phone.
Yeah.
Especially Snapchat, Instagram.
We also saw a video of Kaylee. I think it was on a short or something. And Kaylee was out at a bar and there was a pumpkin sitting next to her. And she said something about the pumpkin looking just like Natalie something. So I don't know who Natalie is or where she belongs to, but she was saying the pumpkin was ugly and looked like this girl. And I mean, I don't know what Natalie did to her, so I can't say, but I mean, that's not nice. I mean, I don't think any of the guys that are out at the bar or the club or anything like that would give two hoots if Kaylee and Maddie dropped out of a sorority. So the fact that nobody talks to them, I think, is telling.
Social media apps, Snapchat, Instagram,
Yeah.
frequently. Always with his girlfriend, surrounded by friends. Occasionally at the Mad Creek.
I'd go with him a few times to Mad Creek, but
Decent food?
no, I don't like the food. I just go with him because I didn't want to go alone, just because he's
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Would you say Ethan was a little codependent?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I mean, yeah, you could say that.
I mean, very few people like being alone
No,
in
I
the
don't
first
like being
place.
alone either, yeah.
Right. It's always more fun
Yeah.
when you have friends.
Absolutely, yeah.
Good.
So many leading questions. Now Ethan's codependent. I mean, do you have anything nice to say about him at all other than everybody likes him? Give us something of detail. Give us something with emotion behind it. Give us something that's not that people just on the surface level wouldn't know about him. You know, what does he eat? What's his favorite pair of shoes? Like give us some detail here. Can't. So strange.
When you say the door went close all the way, you're talking about the first level door?
Yeah, first level door. The one with the code on it.
Did you know the code?
Yeah.
Sounds like everyone knew the
Yeah.
code.
Ethan actually, I just have it saved in his Snapchat, the code.
How many people do you think had the code?
Why would Pete have the code? Why would Pete have the code? It sounds like everybody has the code. So the people who came in there didn't necessarily have to come through the back door. Everybody knew the code. And I'm starting to think it was somebody who knew the code that let everybody in. You know, they all, however many, 3, 4, whatever it was, I think they knew the code. Also, I think that whoever entered their home the week before and left the door open knew the code as well. That's probably how they got in. I don't think they were just leaving the door unlocked all the time, especially when nobody was home. No, I think whoever did this knew the code and had previously gotten in the house to give them a warning or scare them by using the code. On Topics with another super sticker. Thank you so much, my love. We appreciate you very, very much.
Just a guess. I know it's
Yes.
impossible.
If I'm gonna guess, I'd say like 20,
Okay.
20, 30. I don't know. I
For
don't know.
legitimate reasons?
30, 20, 30 people have the code to your home.
Have to get in, like friends of them to be able to get in, so I don't have to call them every time.
Okay.
I think it's way more.
Friends of people that lived in the house.
Current situation number 2 is, tell us anything like, and your bond was inseparable. How are you doing?
Inseparable bond. I just think Peter knows way, way, way more. Hello.
Time heals,
Yeah.
especially traumatic events, and those positive events
Absolutely.
start to take more form or more hold in our memory banks. So
And seeing his parents this last weekend was really huge. I liked that a lot. Seeing his parents, talking to them about it, and it's good to see them all.
Yeah.
I feel better now than I did before I saw them. So that's good.
Gotcha. I'm good. I'm glad you're able to kind of work through it. You're a strong kid anyway. I mean, I can tell that you got a good head on your shoulders and whatnot. So
Thank you.
if you run into any issues, you have my contact. I can get you in contact with a victim specialist where they can help you out a little bit, counselor or something like that.
Yeah.
Even if you don't want to see a counselor, sometimes it's not bad just to go and hear their spiel about grief and other things of that nature. And sometimes it just helps coping. Okay. So I'll leave that up to you. If that's something you want to do, just get in touch with me and I'll get you in contact with them. Okay.
Okay.
5 things that could have led to Ethan's death. Maybe an altercation.
Those are all really skeptical, though. I mean, I didn't know what to put. I'm just trying to maybe think of something to help you.
That's a question on the questionnaire. What are 5 things that could have led to Ethan's death? Now I really want these questionnaires. I want to know what everybody put for that answer. Dang. Ooh, I want these.
But
Hold on. So the question was, what are 5 things that could have led to Ethan's death? And Peter put on there an altercation. You just sat here in this whole interview and said, everybody likes Ethan. I don't know. There was no altercation. Nothing happened. Nobody saw anything. Nobody knows anything. Nobody did anything. Nobody, nothing. They all just, I don't know, randomly died unexpectedly and nobody knows how or why, by who. No. But you also just said an altercation could have been why Ethan lost his life. Something made him say that. Interesting. Well, he just gave us some information.
an altercation because I saw him. I was with he and Xana up until about 1:20 that night
Okay. Where were you guys at?
at the Sigma Chi.
Oh, he's nervous. This just made him nervous. You can hear it in his voice. He's trying to backtrack and cover up what he just said. Woo!
And then I think they went back to their house. I'm not sure. Because I left. I left Sigma Chi and went to AGR and they didn't come with me.
Okay. AGR.
Yeah. Was there a neighbor fraternity?
Why didn't they go?
Because their house is more like an agricultural type fraternity, and I have a lot of friends in there.
Thank you, love. How much money did
A lot of them are,
Nasty
so I get along with them pretty well.
Dylan get up to on the GoFundMe? Love you all. We love you too. It was like 116,000 or close to. But do you know that it has been paused? We don't know by who, but it's been paused. So either GoFundMe paused it or the police paused it or something happened, but it's been paused. And I don't know how GoFundMe works, so I don't know if she got, took out the money or took out some of the money. I just don't know how it works.
And really wasn't, and Xana wasn't either, so they kind of really didn't fit into that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. They have good parties at AGR?
It's not necessarily good parties. I just like hanging out with the dudes, listening to country music with them. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good time.
Yeah.
Good time. The door might have been cracked. Do you think that, I mean, the door has probably been left open before.
Oh yeah.
Why the door being cracked?
Why do I think that? Because I've walked in there to go hang out with them before, or hang out. There's been a party there, and I'm going there and the door's cracked. Like I won't have to put the code in, and I can literally just push it open. That's why I think maybe that might be why.
Okay, an opportunity.
Yeah.
Okay. The sliding door by the kitchen could have been left unlocked. Was that commonly left unlocked?
I don't know, honestly. I don't know if they locked it at night or not. I'm assuming they do. I mean, if you're drunk, that probably is one of the last things you're going to think about is locking your sliding door. So I would assume it was unlocked.
Okay.
I mean, when you, yeah.
You didn't list a number 5.
No, I couldn't think of anything. Because it just doesn't make any goddamn sense. I don't know.
Would you say everyone in the house was well liked?
Yeah, really well liked.
Who was not well liked in the house? Not just.
If Joe Lake hacks and coughs and snorts and sniffs and stop, Jesus, figure yourself out. My Lord, shit drives me nuts. Sorry. Hypothetically, if you solve this case with evidence and facts and through your relentless pursuit of the truth, who would or could you trust to get justice? The police, the FBI, the school? To get justice, I would contact Kathleen Zellner. She'll get justice. She's also Chicago-based, so. That's a good question, though. That's a really good question. I like that. Right? Take a dang cough drop. Like, how are you going to do an interview and while the person is talking and giving the answers, you're hacking all over and we can't hear the answers? Get a hold of yourself, buddy. Take a Benadryl.
Victims, the survivors, who was not well liked?
No one. There was no one that wasn't unliked.
How do you know? Do you know that I have that so horribly bad and I've had it my whole life that my brother and I don't speak, have never spoken because my brother has tics and it's facial tics and it makes noise. And I've had that my whole life and I couldn't eat family dinner with it. Like, it's very debilitating for me. It sounds stupid, but it's a horrible thing to have. If you guys don't know what that is, then look it up. But I have that really bad. I will punch somebody in the face if they make too much noise with their throat or their mouth or their teeth or their whatever. Yeah, it's awful, but it drives me nuts. Like, oh. Thank you so much. Happy Friday, Bronx, and everyone else. Happy Friday to you. I hope you have something fun planned this weekend for yourself.
The only thing that I can think of is, and just because I've heard it on social media and stuff, is that Kaylee had a stalker or something.
You do too?
We've already ruled that out, yeah. There was an incident, by the way, just for clarification.
I can't eat around anybody. I can if there's enough noise around, like in a heavily packed restaurant or something, and I can't hear it. But to like sit next to somebody at like a dinner table or the couch or whatever, I can't eat. I can't listen to somebody else eat. I just can't do it. I can't even enjoy my own food or enjoy my meal. So I just don't. And I think a lot of that is probably why I'm single because I just can't stand noises from people's faces.
It's unrelated to this and we're taking action on it.
Okay.
And it wasn't just Kaylee. They're just creepers. Kaylee wasn't the only person that they followed around.
Yeah.
So
I had heard about that too. 2 men, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
I also heard another really disturbing thing from I forget who, but and I haven't been repeating it because I don't think you guys want me to repeat this, but that Kaylee had her tongue cut out. Is that false? Okay.
He said, yes, that is false. So Kaylee did not have her tongue cut out. And we saw it in the autopsy already that she had her tongue. It was just destroyed. But she did have her tongue.
there's always a lot of rumor on any of these cases, whether it's a murder case or something else, and it's people kind of speculate, and then that speculation becomes, I hate to even use this phrase because it drives me nuts, but it becomes their truth.
Yeah.
Because they want to believe something, and without having the knowledge or without having the facts or have seen it or been there or one thing or another, minds go wild. And we understand that. We wish we could share more. But for the course of this investigation and the prosecution of the suspect,
just to keep him without, like, so that he doesn't know as much as you, he doesn't find out as much as you know.
That's a big piece of it. What we always do is we base it off of courtroom procedure and policy.
Oh yeah.
What can be admissible and what can't. Now, you get a bunch of stuff out there in the public, that's going to get quashed, because it's going to cause wildfire, and there's going to be all kinds of different angles coming at it and other things of that nature. So we really try to stick with facts and keep those facts tied to our vest, which we have to do legally.
Yeah.
For the preservation of that knowledge and evidence for when it transfers out from the executive branch, law enforcement is part of the executive branch, into the judicial branch, right? So once it gets handed over, it really has to be every T crossed, every I dotted, and has to be precise. It can't be speculation. Speculation gets tossed out of court constantly. And the more information that's out there, the more speculation is generated.
Yeah.
Right. So that again is one of the
right there. Him even mentioning her tongue says a lot to me. It does to me as well. Because a lot of time rumor has some sort of basis of the truth. Something. A little something. It could be a lot of something. It could be a little something, but it derives from some sort of the truth. So who at 1122 saw Kaylee and Maddie, saw Xana and Ethan, and was going around telling what they saw, and then the telephone game started happening, and somehow it turned into Kaylee had her tongue cut out. But that tells us right there that Dylan and Bethany, even possibly Hunter, saw Kaylee and Maddie. That's what that tells us. Somebody knew enough to know what Kaylee's face looked like. So that literally just told us that they knew, they saw, they knew, or were involved, but they knew.
Procedural things, why we can't release all the facts of this case. It still has to go in front of a jury.
Yeah.
Right. So one of the last questions here is so much information detailed about the days during the week prior to his death. Parents' weekend. Did you go to the tailgate party?
Parents' weekend. No.
Dad's weekend. Or...
Yeah, no, we didn't go to the tailgate. We stayed at my apartment, and I made breakfast for my parents and my roommate's parents, and then we drank there a little bit before the game, and then we walked to the game right when it started because it was raining.
U of I game or the WSU?
U of I.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was raining and it would have been miserable to go sit out the tailgate, so we just stayed at my apartment until the game started.
Smart.
Yeah, and then Ethan and his family came in over to my apartment like 30 minutes before we walked, and we all walked over there together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything unusual on that day? Where was everyone else hanging? Because I mean,
they were around in their own apartments with their own families.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a pretty big weekend up here?
Parents weekend? Both semesters, parents' weekend's pretty big. Yeah.
So I've heard there's mom's weekend, dad's weekend, parent weekend. I don't remember any of that when I was in college. I don't.
It's because it's bigger for fraternity and sorority life. Parents' weekend is.
Okay.
Yeah, because when you think about it, dorm kids, if their parents come up for parents' weekend,
to me, it says something along the lines of maybe he knew she was the target or something. Somebody's saying something. Somebody knows something.
Where are they going to go? To the dorm and hang out type of deal?
Right.
Well, when you're in a fraternity or sorority, the parents can go hang out with you at your fraternity or sorority.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I lived in an apartment.
Yeah.
So maybe. I mean,
that's what
I
my
was
mom
too busy
says anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It really does. Your parents come up very often?
Yeah. They come up for every parents' weekend, and then when the day that this happened, I got on the phone with mom, told her, and my dad overheard, and he was on the road in 15 minutes when we live. So they come up whenever they feel we need it or something. So yeah, it's nice.
It's good of them.
Yeah.
And you're.
Yeah.
I know you've likely thought about this. But it's a question I like to ask because it has so much potential to answer. But what does this killer look like to you?
You asked me this the other day too, and I gave you the most average answer.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, he asked him this the other day. So this is not the first interview. This is Joe Lake's second interview with him. Are we going to get that one or no?
But
I gave you the most average answer.
It's an average male. That's what I can picture. Average height, average. He's not overweight. I don't know. When I picture him, he's not overweight. He's like slenderish, average height. Yeah.
What's his background?
What do you mean? I see him coming from a family that was broken.
Okay.
Didn't have good parents. The parents weren't around a whole lot. Kind of. I think he, like, drug dealer type person. I don't know why.
Oh, what? Why? A drug dealer? What do you mean? Interesting.
That has no.
Someone outside of societal norms.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's awfully specific, right? That is really specific. I don't think I could have answered that question that way. I mean, I personally would be like, I have no idea. A Night Stalker? I mean, I don't know. That's how I would answer it, because I wouldn't have a clue, because it wasn't me and I had nothing to do with it. And I can't just give you a random description of somebody I don't know. Interesting. That's awfully specifically detailed.
And why would a person, to take someone's life, it's big.
And especially a stabbing, that's so personal to actually, yeah.
Why would someone do that?
They're sick. They're not normal. They're not what we would consider human. I don't know.
I also come from. It's kind of interesting, like when you're branding and whatnot. I don't think anything of it. The cow feels very little pain.
Yeah.
It's going to sting. It's going to burn a little bit, right? But it's necessary.
Yeah.
Other people look at it and they may think, how cruel.
Yeah.
But we can rationalize it because of the need, right? There's actually a legal need to brand your cattle, right, and tag them out.
Yeah.
So there's a perspective there, but I think nearly every person also recognizes death is not a judgment call for one to make on their own accord, right?
Right.
So how is it this person can kill 4 people?
He doesn't have a religion. He doesn't believe in God. He's probably atheist. I don't know. That's the only reason that I can think of, because based off what you said, like, it's not your spot to be able to do that. It's God's spot, and they obviously wouldn't believe in God if they did that.
That's insightful.
Doesn't have faith. Yeah.
Okay.
In my family, we're.
I'm sorry. I don't necessarily think it has anything to do with, what did he say?
That's a good guy. This person, how old do you think they are? The suspect.
I don't know why this is coming to my brain right now, but 23, 24, 25. I don't know why. I don't know.
Well, let's break that down.
I kind of actually have a theory.
Okay.
I think that, I don't know if this is real or not, but I think that I have a theory that Kaylee had like an OnlyFans or something, or she had a sugar daddy or something.
One of those pay sites.
Yeah. And she wasn't, how does, do you know how they work? Like, she's supposed to send something or something and they pay or whatever. I think that she didn't send something, or something along those lines, and they got mad and took, I don't freaking know. You kind of get what I'm saying though.
I do, but where do you draw the line? $10, $20, $100,
$10,
1,000, million.
I don't know.
How much value do you put on someone?
Me personally, I think a person's invaluable a life is invaluable. I mean, you can't put a price on life.
Right. But that's using our own upbringing, our
Yeah.
own,
Thank you
our own
so
values
much.
and morals.
Thank you, Labs. Thank you so much. We really, really appreciate you. I don't think this is real or not. Didn't Dylan say something similar? Yeah, she did. Where is... There she is. Hello. Good to see you, my love. Exactly. I don't know. I think his answers are just a little weird to me. It's just me. Like, I think it's just me that they're weird. I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily answer them that way.
I mean, if there's somebody sick, that the sick person that did this, I would say that they wouldn't, that price wouldn't really matter.
Sure.
Yeah.
I like to pick brains of young men like yourself and whatnot. I'm your parents are probably even a little older.
What's that?
I'm the same age as your parents,
yeah.
maybe even a little older. So things have changed so much in the last 20 years with social media and other things of that nature that I just like to kind of get an insight into your brain a little bit and why you're thinking the things that you think, because maybe that'll help us to identify, current values and norms versus abnormal, because things do change. We trend as a society, and there's different values based on different things. So what else can you tell me? What else? I mean, even if it's just something, a hunch, hypothesis, wild.
One of the reasons I think the whole OnlyFans thing or whatever is because she had that brand new Range Rover. Like, how did she buy that? If she bought it, I don't know if her parents helped her with that or whatnot. But that's kind of another reason why I think that, because Range Rovers are expensive.
They are.
But I don't know. That's another thing. I don't know.
How was
No. Okay. So here's the thing. When you guys are driving down the street and you see a nice vehicle, let's say a Range Rover, just like he's talking about, I mean, do you automatically think that person's selling their body? No, right? You wonder, like, oh, I wonder what they do for a living. Or, I mean, I don't know. I don't really notice them. I don't care about material things, so I don't really notice stuff like that. But for him to say, because she got a new car, she's selling her body. No, that stemmed from somewhere. That came from somewhere. You know more, and you know that, and you know that, and that's why you say that. I don't think because you have a decent vehicle, you bought a new vehicle. I mean, he doesn't know how she got that vehicle. So why would he automatically assume you're selling your body because you have a decent vehicle? I think he knew more. I think he knows more. And that's why.
How's everyone doing financially in the house?
Xana was fine. She was working at Mad Greek. She was fine financially. Ethan was good. Ethan was fine. And then Ethan was fine. I don't know about the other 2 girls.
27. Yeah. I mean, it was a used vehicle. The engine light was on. How much was the vehicle total? Like $24,000 for a 2015 Range Rover. I don't know. But yeah, she made 27. I personally just don't know on that amount how you're paying for a Range Rover, vacations. She bought a dog. She's planning on going to Europe. She was moving to Texas, all this. She was suddenly paying for like all of her friends' drinks and things like that. That came out. Somebody stated that regarding bank statements. She was paying for like everybody's drinks all the time. And honey, you can't do all of that on $27 an hour after taxes too, honey. You're doing something else.
Or the other roommates, because I was obviously closer with Xana and Ethan, so I really don't know if they were like.
I mean, were they like scrounging pennies and dimes and nickels to go get a hamburger or anything? No. Okay. I mean, it sounds like their bills were being paid on time. They all had gas in the gas tanks, right?
Yeah.
I mean, okay. Anything else that you can think of?
Have you guys Look
Do
at
you
the
sell
footage.
your
I know
body?
those cars
No,
are
I'm just
newer
kidding.
and they have backup cameras.
I'm totally kidding. I'm just kidding. I mean, that's not bad though. At an auction, did you have to put anything into it? Like, was there anything wrong with it that you had to fix on top of that as well? But I mean, that's a smart thing to do. Go to an auction. I know you probably can't really tell if there's something wrong. I'm getting off the subject. Sorry. I have questions on everything.
And cameras on the front. Those cameras on there, I don't know if those are can catch anything while their vehicles are off, but that's another thing.
Yeah. We have
I know you guys took the vehicles in for inspection stuff.
So I don't Teslas. I am a squirrel. Don't Teslas record when the car is off? Do Range Rovers do that? I don't know.
Investigation.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, we have a team of true subject matter experts. Like this is, well, it's related to the case. It's not evidentiary, but I watched this guy break out this really cool set of micro tools the other day, and it intrigued me because of what the heck's he doing with those. Sat down at a bench and in less than 60 seconds, literally had this laptop stripped down to components, removing this little tiny memory chip from within, and then had a very special type of a reader that could extract the data in which he was seeking from that memory chip.
Wow.
Then reassembled the thing in about a minute and a half to 2 minutes.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, that's
Shut
good.
up.
Yeah.
That's
That'll make your jaw drop.
right.
Yeah, I can want to see that.
Yeah.
What? He says, man, that would make your jaw drop. Talking about somebody disassembling a computer, but not your friends being horrifically murdered. 4 of them? That won't make your jaw drop. But somebody that can disassemble a computer in 5 seconds, jaw dropping. Know what I mean? This dude.
It was truly impressive. So that gives you an idea of the minutia that this team is diving into. And the driving force is this: is most all of us have children. Some of us have children in the same age group. And every day, my wife asked me as we're driving back, like I said, it took us 2 days to get back just because weather was so crappy between Bend and Biggs. Visibility sucked, freezing fog, the road was crap. Yeah. That took an entire day, which sucked. But she asked me, she's like, so what's the plan? And I said, well, probably not going to see me a whole lot. And and I said, well, let's put it in perspective. If this was our daughter, what would we expect? Yeah. And I think we all live up to that. And every day is we get up early and we get here and we go straight to work and we look at angles and motives and just every element. And then when we run out of that, we go and we grab someone and we say, what do you think? Yeah. And it refreshes and it opens up new avenues, and we continue to do that. And we continue to sit down and talk with people and process. Meanwhile, processing all the evidence from the scene and doing all the other things, sending it for testing at the labs and all the other.
That takes a while though, doesn't it?
It does, just to work up, your standard biological. And I'm just being hypothetical here. I'm not talking case specific,
but anything regarding Ethan or Xana, especially the fact that he was the last person to see them alive that night, couldn't remember what they were wearing. Didn't even mention them, Xana not being around for part of the night. Like, can't remember a dang thing, but oddly specific about random stuff, right?
A normal case, a biological case, might be 6 months of processing, just because it's backlogged. In this case, everything is going to the front line and being processed.
Is that right?
Oh yeah, nothing's being backlogged. We need to get this person.
In Utah, right?
No, we have our own state lab.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
We have some of the best forensic scientists in the Northwest working for the state police.
Gotcha.
Very good at what to do. But it'll still take several days to do those workups because of the processing that goes through all that. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I thought you guys were backlogged. I thought we were gonna have to wait 6 months for all the results.
Oh no, they're coming out really quick.
That's awesome.
And of course, we brought up many of our forensic scientists to come help us process the crimes.
That's sweet.
Yeah. When did you leave? When did you head back down to California?
Monday. That Monday after.
That would have been the 14th.
Yeah.
Okay.
That Monday morning at 10:30.
And did you go back down with your dad?
Mm-hmm. My dad, my brother, and my cousin.
My cousin up here too.
My cousin up here too. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then you guys went back down. Obviously, you're working.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you been in contact with anyone from the school while you were off on vacation within that first, let's just say 72 hours? Did anyone reach out to you?
Like phone calls from the school?
Well, from fraternity brothers or from friends?
Oh. I was on, I got texted by a couple of them just checking up on me, asking how I was doing type of deal.
Okay.
But that was it.
Okay.
And then the weekend of Thanksgiving break, I was called by.
Is his name George? Is it George? Herbert. What? George. Where'd I get that from? Idiot. Herbert. Oh my God, that is hilarious.
One of your guys' detectives, and gave him a story, gave him like another kind of timeline type deal. But that was it.
Okay.
It might have been you. No, it was.
No, I just talked to you that one time on the phone.
Yeah,
I'm leading the team, the victimology team, so it could have been someone on the team.
Gotcha. It was a gal. It was a gal. Yeah.
Okay. I know which one it was.
Yeah.
Okay. Has anyone reached out to you that maybe is not someone who commonly reaches out to you?
A lot of people, yeah, like uncountable amount of people that I haven't spoken to in 5 years from high school are reaching out.
High school.
Yeah.
How about from the university?
Nobody really from the university besides fraternity brothers.
Anything else?
That kid reached out to me.
That's really gonna make me angry. What does he mean? Somebody from the university? What does he mean? Somebody from the university? Did somebody from the university reach out to you? Interesting.
Nancy had said asked how I was doing.
Caleb, Jacob.
He reached out to me just to see how I was doing.
Okay. And it's with a C.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
If we need to talk again, would you be open to that?
Yeah.
And it wouldn't take so long. This is more of a in-depth, but great. Go ahead.
I'm leaving Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
End of semester, right?
Well, I'm going back early because I'm doing school online.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay.
It's no problem.
Okay.
No problem at all. If anything comes up, you've got my cell phone.
Right. Yeah. I got it.
Even if it's something small.
Your name's Joe Lake, right?
Mhm.
Sweet.
Yeah, what I'd like you to do is, if something comes to mind, something conflict-wise.
Yes, she was on the prosecution, it wasn't like the witness list, it was who they were going to question. And I figured they were going to question her to make it look like something it's not. That was my opinion on that. Just to try and get her to say something that she's not going to say. And yeah, I don't think it was anything that was going to be moving or she didn't have any information. They were just going to ask her questions, and it was more than likely probably going to be about that dang cell phone that Bryan Kohberger took of his sister's. Remember? That's probably what they were going to talk about, to try and make Bryan Kohberger look like this horrible person. Doesn't this kid look like the oldest brother from Home Improvement? Kind of. The one with the blonde hair. Can't remember his name. Zach something.
Anything comes to mind, just reach out to me, okay?
Okay, I will.
All right.
And there's not much else you can tell me, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah.
I wish I could share everything with you.
Yeah.
It's just I can't add that knowledge to you.
I got you. Yeah, makes sense.
All right, I'm going to end audio recording 2:46 p.m.
Zachary Ty Bryant. Yes, that is his name. He does, doesn't he? Okay, so now that we're done with that, couple of things that I prepared for you, just for your little eyeballs. Oops, wrong thing. Okay. Oh, I forgot to move all my stuff over. Dang it. It's okay. This won't be long. First, I want to just tell you really quick, because we try and go over almost everything here that's possible. I want to make sure you guys know that in Hunter versus US, it was basically, where did it go? Sorry, I'm looking for the thing I made earlier. So Hunter versus US, it was basically the law was overturned that now when you're in a position, let's say just like Bryan Kohberger, where they say you have to take a plea, or you don't have to take a plea deal, but when you take this plea deal, you can't appeal. It's done and over with. That's it. You take this plea deal, it's over. You get no appeals. Well, that has now been overturned. And so if it ends up being, if the plea deal ends up being like a huge miscarriage of justice, or if your defense did not defend you well or whatever, if you can prove that it would be a huge miscarriage of justice and you deserve an appeal, that is, you are now able to get one. They can't say that you can't appeal. So basically, if you accept a plea deal and agreed not to appeal in that plea deal, courts usually enforce that. But now, after this ruling, they do not have to enforce an appeal waiver if doing so would result in a miscarriage of justice. So that is good to know. That is good to know. So that is the Hunter v. US that was just decided on. Now I have two other things I want to go over with you. And Adriana helped me with this, but I have a little slideshow for you. Let me share it. So we know that there was lots of talks in the beginning of the Vampire Diaries. And, we know they were watching the Vampire Diaries. We also know that in an episode, hey, stop it. That's not what I want. We also know that in an episode, it was said that in the episode, somebody says, "It's okay, I'm here to help you." So Adriana helped me a little bit here, and we both went through and found within the same episode of Vampire Diaries, there is way more stuff that would add up to the things that Dylan's story entailed. So first, this picture is season 8, episode 12. And if you notice, the facial wounds just of this picture is pretty similar to what Kaylee and Maddie had. And this picture is in the episode during the interrogation. And this is all the same episode. During the interrogation in this episode, they talk about neck wounds and decapitation. Well, let's zoom in on this picture a little bit here. It's nearly identical to Kaylee and Maddie's neck wounds that is in this episode, all within the same episode. But we'll keep going because there's more. In this video, watch just right here where this black circle is. I couldn't find it anywhere else but this stupid video. But watch within this black circle here. He's going to reach down on the table for a weapon. And I want you to see what this weapon looks like. It is long, cylinder, and pointy at the end.
A silent assassin with a taser?
She did mention that she had an insurance policy against Gabe.
Right there.
Yeah, wasn't it like...
Interesting weapon. Now listen to this.
The front door just blew open.
Front door's open.
Thought it was Rick, but... Caroline, someone's in the house.
Caroline, someone's in the house. Doesn't that sound a lot like someone's here? Someone's in the house. And then Kaylee goes down the stairs. Oh, but there's more.
Celine?
Nope. Done by a female. But there's more as well. Okay, so right here, this all in the same episode. This male character, his name is Ethan. He's not like a main character, but he's in this particular episode. This church bell, which you can hear at 1122, you can hear the church bell loud and clear. We hear it on all the body cameras. This church bell, the whole thing is, they're trying to get a hold of this journal. I'm not making this up, I promise. A journal, just like Dylan's journal that we hear about, right? But in order to something with this journal, they need to ring this bell, this church bell, 12 times. What time was the 911 call? Noon. Oh, they have to ring this bell 12 times. And this character, Ethan, rings this bell 12 times. And look what happens. The whole town starts on fire. There's your fireman. Wild. I don't think that's it either. So after Ethan rings the bell 12 times, the whole town starts on fire. And there's the Maxwell journal from the episode. All the same episode. This is the cover for the episode. If you notice, they all have facial wounds, just like Kaylee and Maddie. And this guy is the good guy who is there to protect them, who has bushy eyebrows. The only character that has these bushy eyebrows, and he's there to protect them. Literally, they say it in the episode. And here are the references within the episode. At one point, somebody says, I called her phone and it just rings and rings and rings and no answer. Well, Dylan said that about the roommates. In this episode, they say, it's okay. I'm here to help you. There's the bushy eyebrow reference, the neck wounds that look very similar to Kaylee and Maddie's. They talk about doors opening and closing in this episode. And there are stabbings left and right in this episode. It's just really, really strange that it's all within. Oh, yeah. Conspiraling. The journal was an instruction manual to kill a person named Cade, which would be a combination of Kaylee Jade. Cade. That is what this journal in this episode meant. It was an instruction manual to kill Cade. That's the character's name. Is that a firework or a gunshot? I have no idea. Sorry. Okay. But yeah, so that is just within this one episode. It's season 8, episode 12. If you want to go look at it, there is one thing in here that was part of season 8, episode 11. But I'm like, if they were, watched part of 11 and then it went into 12 or watched both of them, I don't know, but it's crazy because there's a lot of references here and a lot of stuff that I couldn't believe. Like, Ethan was the character ringing the bell 12 times and then a fire started. I'm like, there's our fireman that Dylan's talking about. She literally just referenced this whole episode of Vampire Diaries. What the heck? Now, I want to share one more thing with you. Well, technically two, but in this photo, I looked up what knife this is in this photo, and it is this knife. I want us to look specifically at the serration, the serrated edge on this knife, because we see a lot of wounds, specifically on Xana, but some on all of them, that have this strange serration and next to the wounds. And I kept trying to figure out how that could get there. And the only way it's possible is if somebody purposely dragged the knife across them and created the serrated looking wounds. And this is a 7-inch knife with serration. This knife fits the wounds. This knife, I'm going to show you several knives that could all fit the wounds. And that is why this knife FOIA is very important, because when we get pictures of them, we can tell if that knife can fit the wounds. That we know there's several different wounds. This knife is a Gerber Mark II. This could also fit the wounds. This knife is an M7 bayonet. This could also fit the wounds. This knife is an Applegate Fairbairn. It's a dagger. This could also fit the wounds. And when I say fit the wounds, I mean length, I mean width, I mean the edge, the blades, everything. Every part of this knife fits some of the wounds. The Buck 119 fits the wounds. I mean, this one looks a lot like a cape. I think this knife is really pretty. It's got the clip point at the bottom. But most importantly, this knife fit the wounds. So, with that being said, get out of here. Okay, I'm talking to myself. Sorry, not you. I want to show you something else. Shoot. 1 second. Give me uno momento, por favor. Okay. Share my screen. Whoops. Hi. This is Rue. Ha ha ha. This is not all, though. We have more for you on today's Bronx's Buddy of the Day. This is Rue. So cute. This is Shayna's baby. This is Bronx's Buddy of the Day. Let me take this off real quick. This is Bronx's Buddy of the Day, but I want to show you a video of Rue really quick. This is so cute. This is Rue looking at Bronx. Cartoon Bronx in the corner.
Who's it? Mister, come here. Who's that? I know.
Rue was looking at just the cartoon Bronx in the little corner of our live, right here in the corner, in your upper left, I think. But this is Rue. This is Bronx's Buddy of the Day. He is just the sweetest. He's a golden retriever, and he has such the cutest little baby face ever. I just love him. I want to snuggle him. Bronx is dreaming. I'm like, what is going on back there? All right, guys. Do something nice for yourself. Be kind, but more importantly, be kind to your animals. Bye, guys. Have a good night. And thank you, everybody, for the donations. Whoops. For the donations today. We appreciate all of you. We hit our goal. And we will see you in the next one. Oh, our guest for Sunday had a work thing pop up. So our guest for Sunday is going to come next Sunday, for sure. But I might do something on Sunday anyways. I'm just going to play it by ear though. So we'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to tune in to the Verdict Room tomorrow. We will have Mark B on, and I have lots of good questions for him.
Yeah. 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 Bronx on the scene, nose to the ground, reads every scratch, every step, every sound. Dust on the boot, mud on the cuff, one wrong move and he calls you bluff. He found a lie in the turn of a face, found a fresh print in an empty place. Tell up high when the story won't blend, he don't bark loud, he just gets close. Damn, sniffing out facts, no room for slack. Truth in the crack, now we don't look back. BronxTails, 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 chasing truth through the rails. BronxTails, 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 corruption slips then fails, sniffing out facts, uncaging the truth, corruption on a tight leash, and he's pulling it loose. Hey, hey. Idaho nights cold, over the floor, 4 names heavy in the whole town, so Bronx in the weeds where the silence stayed, digging for proof in the tracks it made. He found the gap in the masked up tail, found the bent clue in the buried trail, bone white truth in the folder stack, one clean scent in the case swings back, sniffing out facts, no room for slack, truth in the crack, now we don't look back. BronxTails, 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 chasing truth through the rails. BronxTails, 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 corruption slips then fails, sniffing out facts, uncaging the truth, corruption on a tight leash, and he's pulling it loose. One paw print, one torn thread, one false alibi, falls dead. Chasing truth through the rails. BronxTails, 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 corruption slips then fails, sniffing out facts, uncaging the truth, corruption on a tight leash, and he's pulling it.